Hi, welcome back to Married with Gaming. I'm Jen. Today, I'm going to be going through my character creation for a new campaign that we're getting ready to start. We're going to be playing with some of our kids, and we're going to be doing it through the Castles and Crusades system, where the idea is that we're going to be going through old like D&D modules and playing a campaign setting where we run through several of the old modules. So in preparation for that, I went ahead and downloaded the Castles and Crusades Player's Handbook off of Troll Lord Games. Mike is going to be our castle keeper, and he asked us to make two characters, one that would be kind of our main and one that was an alternate in case something happens to the main, or if we want to bring him in for when one is in downtime or one gets otherwise incapacitated for a game or two. With Castles and Crusades Handbook and with the help of Owlbear Rodeo, I rolled up some stats. And I was actually able to roll pretty well this time. So we used the roll 4d6 and dropped the lowest system. And I was able to roll up a paladin and a ranger this way. So as you can see, I ended up making Tian, a human paladin of Paylor. My stats were pretty good with a 16, a 15, a 17, a 12, a 14, and a 17. I haven't rolled that well in quite a while, so that was pretty exciting. So in Castles and Crusades, magic isn't really a thing unless you are a magic user. So instead of getting spells as a paladin, I get abilities as a paladin. So my class abilities are Cure Disease once a week, Detect Evil, which is at will, works as the spell, Divine Aura, which gives +2 AC and saves against evil. That is for me only. Divine Health makes me immune to disease, and I can lay on hands, heal 2 hit points per level once per day. The other thing about Castles and Crusades is they do not assume any gear is given. So other than the clothes on our backs, we have to buy everything else. We have a very generous castle keeper who gives us max hit points at level 1 and also gives us max gold so that we can start out well equipped on our adventure. Now, one of the things that I found a little bit tricky in Castles and Crusades character generation was the encumbrance rule. I had to read it a few times, but basically in this system, your encumbrance is equal to your strength score. However, you also have what are called primary stats in Castles and Crusades. So each class has a set primary stat, and then the player gets to choose their second primary stat. If you're a human, you get to choose 2 extra primary stats. So if one of those primary stats is either strength or constitution, you add 3 to your encumbrance score. If you happen to have both strength and constitution as primary stats, you add 6 to your encumbrance score. So for Tian, her strength score was a 16. So she starts at 16, and her primary stats, because she's a human, she has 3, are strength, con, and charisma, which gives her a +6 to that encumbrance score. So she can carry 22 encumbrance value worth of items. Now, you have some items that are called capacity items. That's like your backpack. So a backpack listed right here has a capacity of 8. In and of itself, it is an encumbrance value of 2. A capacity of 8 means that it can carry 8 items, and they have to be less than the capacity value. So you can carry up to 7 encumbrance value items, and you can carry 8 of them in this backpack. and then you only count the backpack as your encumbrance number. So I have a backpack with several items in it, as you can see here: bedroll, blanket, rations, rope, oil, tent, lantern, hammer. But that gives me an encumbrance value of 2. So you also have to count, of course, your armor, anything else that you're carrying that isn't in a pouch. Then you have to count that as your encumbrance. With all of the gear that she was able to buy, and her starting gold was 240, she has a total encumbrance of value of a rating of 22, which means she can have 22 points worth of encumbrance. Her total right now with all of this is 20. So if I were to go over that 22, then I would start to get encumbered, and I would get some penalties to like movement, attributes, or armor class. But I don't have to worry about that right now. And that is Tian, character number 1. Like I said, I was also able to make a second character, so let's take a look at that one. That second character is Kaylee. Kaylee is an elf ranger. So Kaylee's primary stats are strength and dex. Rolled pretty well here too. Now elves, because they're elves, they gain 1 in their dex scores and they lose 1 in their con scores. So my highest roll that I rolled was a 16, which is pretty good. So for Kaylee, because she's an elf and a ranger, she has a lot more abilities here. So because of her ranger status, she has an ability called Combat Marauder, which does 1 damage per level extra against humanoids and giants. So you don't choose a favored enemy, you just do extra damage against all humanoids and giants. She has skills of Conceal, Delay and Neutralizing Poison, Move Silently, Scale, Trap, Survival, Track, and Enhanced Senses, which gives her a +2 to Listen. Then as an elf, she also gets some racial abilities. One of those is Twilight Vision, kind of like a dark vision. Spell Resistance, I believe that is mostly charm, like Sleep. Spot Hidden Doors, I believe if I move within so many feet of a hidden door, you automatically have a chance to detect that. And then Weapon Training, so it's an automatic +1 to hit with a composite longbow or shortbow, a regular longbow or shortbow, and a longsword or short sword. Also, she gets a Move Silent +2 and a +2 to find traps. For her encumbrance, her strength here is a 16, so she starts at a base 16 as well, but she only has strength as a primary, so she's only going to add 3. So her encumbrance rating is going to be a 19. So she has a backpack as well, full of stuff. She's got studded leather and a composite longbow and a short sword, and then her quiver, which counts as a container holding 20 arrows. And then her water skin. So out of 19, she is at her capacity of 19. So those are my characters for the Castles and Crusades campaign that we have coming up. And I'm very excited to play them and see how they go. I think I'm going to use the Paladin as my main character starting off. I do enjoy playing Paladins, so that will be great. Mike is going to be doing a video shortly about the campaign itself and from the Game Master point of view. Please like and subscribe. It does help the channel. And until then, keep gaming together. We'll see you next time.